What's up everyone and welcome back to the AG Chelsea TV. Today let's get started with Enzo Fernandez reveals the Arsenal star he is learning from. Chelsea ace Enzo Fernandez and Arsenal star Declan Rice will be hoping to guide their respective teams to a London derby victory this weekend. Both midfielders were signed for over £100 million this year, with the impact already being felt as Mikel Arteta and Mauricio Pochettino work hard to find the best position for their marquee stars. Fernandez may be a World Cup winner with Argentina and already have a plethora of experience under his belt at just 22, but he still has plenty to learn, and the man himself has revealed Rice as one player he watched. Speaking to Chelsea Extra FR, he said, "I try to watch a lot of football to learn from other players. Among these players I like to watch Declan Rice from England and Arsenal." Prior to the international break, Rice was hugely influential in the victory over Manchester City that placed Arsenal level on points with Tottenham, only behind on goals scored. A fourth consecutive league victory at Stamford Bridge would see Arsenal leapfrog their bitter rivals, with Spurs not in action until Monday evening. However, the Blues will be aiming to stop that from happening, continue the impressive run of form that began prior to the international break. A 4-1 victory over Burnley followed wins against Fulham and Brighton, with Pochettino finally appearing to have found his best starting 11. In midfield, that sees Fernandez joined by Conor Gallagher and Moises Caicedo, with Cole Palmer drifting centrally from the right and creating overloads. The signing of Caicedo has helped unleash Fernandez after he was forced to play a deeper role during his first 6 months in West London. Bakayoko regrets repeated loan spells away from Chelsea. Former Chelsea midfielder Timu Bakayoko has described the successive loan spells away from Chelsea as a negative point in his career. Bakayoko, off the back of a highly successful season at AS Monaco, secured a €40 million move to Chelsea in the summer of 2017. However, the former France international failed to consolidate a spot in the team under successive managers. Despite being at the club for 6 years, he only made 43 appearances, scoring 3 goals and registering 3 assists. The French midfielder has spent much of his time since 2017 on loan. In that time, he has had 2 spells at AC Milan, one in the 2018-19 season, before returning to the San Siro in the summer of 2021 on a 2-year loan. The starred Rennes Academy product also spent 1 year on loan at Napoli, as well as another year at former club Monaco. "When I left Chelsea in 2018, it was because a new manager, Maurizio Sarri, arrived with Jorginho, and he told me that I would be below him in the hierarchy. I thought it was the best decision to leave," said Bakayoko in a pre-match press conference, transcribed by El Equipe. Bakayoko's second loan spell at AC Milan was much less successful than his first, and he featured sparingly in the title-winning season in 2021-22. He then featured just 3 times last season with AC Milan before seeing his Chelsea contract terminated. At that point, he had not featured for the Premier League club for 5 years. "In my career, the negative point is having been loaned out for so many seasons. I'm hoping to have a bit more continuity at a club from now on," said Bakayoko, who made his debut for FC Lorient just before the international break in a 3-3 draw against Olympique Lyonnais. Chelsea still interest in 16-year-old Barcelona Wonderkid. A number of young talents coming through the Barcelona youth ranks are knocking on the doors of first-team manager Xavi Hernandez. One such player who is in and around the first-team dynamics on a fairly regular basis is defensive prodigy Pau Cubarsí. The 16-year-old centre-back has been playing regularly for Barça Athletic despite his age and has been called up to train with the seniors by Xavi on a constant basis. Pau Cubarsí's development and progress at Barcelona has seemingly alerted other top clubs in Europe, with Chelsea said to be very much interested in the 16-year-old prospect. Indeed, as per Tony Juan Martí of Sport, Chelsea still retain a strong interest in Cubarsí after having already made an attempt to lure him away from Barca during the summer transfer window. The teenage defender was on the radars of several clubs during the summer, with Chelsea being the team that was pushing the hardest for him. However, the Spanish starlet turned down lucrative offers from elsewhere to sign a new contract with Barcelona until the summer of 2026. Despite his renewal, Chelsea have not lost sight of Cubarsí and, in fact, have intensified their monitoring of the teenage prospect. The report states that Cubarsí's new contract with Barcelona consists of a release clause ranging between €10 to €15 million, which would pose no problem to the Premier League club. Despite the brewing interest from Chelsea, Barcelona are understood to be quite calm about Pau Cubarsí's situation. The Catalans consider that the youngster has the best prospects at the club. At the same time, they are also aware that, at this rate of progression, the defender's renewal could soon become obsolete. As such, sporting director Deco is already aware of the situation, with the former midfielder keen on avoiding any talent drain from the club. Chelsea team news ahead. Arsenal clash. Chelsea will be without striker Armando Broja for their Premier League home game with Arsenal this weekend. The Albanian picked up an injury on international duty. Manager Mauricio Pochettino said on Friday, Chelsea have suffered a string of injuries this season, and Broja returned to Stamford Bridge before his country's win over Bulgaria in a friendly in Tirana on Tuesday. Broja is out. He has a bit of irritation on the knee, but it's the other knee, not the one that was a problem in the past, Pochettino told reporters. We have a few players we have to assess to see if they will be available or not tomorrow. Benoit Badiashile could be available also on the bench, he said. Fullback REECE James has been out since picking up a hamstring injury on the opening day of the season, and the coach is not ruling out a return for Saturday's game with Arsenal. REECE was training good the last few days. Now we need to have a talk with the medical staff and decide if he can be part of the squad tomorrow. For Chelsea, the international break came at just the wrong time, having won their 2 league games before the break, along with a win in the League Cup. It was a shame because we wanted to keep the momentum, and now it's about building another momentum, added Pochettino. But I think we are confident, the team is confident, the players have a different mood than 1 month ago. The Argentine will now come up against Mikel Arteta for the first time as manager. The two played together at Paris Saint-Germain back in 2001 and have remained friends ever since. It's going to be really nice. My love for him is there. It's a family. It's more than friends. It's going to be strange, said Pochettino. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.